Hey everyone, welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about people noticing that there have been some changes in your behavior, or perhaps things are improving in your life. There's a bit of glow up or some sort of like admiration happening because you've been making things change. You've been moving forward, or people feel like you're more successful now than you had been in the past. So you're coming through as the Emperor, regardless of what your gender is. And with the Knight of Wands, it feels like you have taken this action or moved in the right direction in kind of a surprisingly rapid period of time. Most people would take, 4 years to graduate from a liberal arts school, but you do it in 2 or you do it in 3. There's something here about a condensed time frame where you make things happen in a very positive way for your life. And we've got something here also about the people around you not necessarily being 100% supportive of what it is that you're looking to accomplish or what you're working towards. There could be somebody here, a close friend, an ex, or a family member, where they're hoping to see that you don't succeed. So it's coming through as a bit of like a cautionary, please don't give people too much information about what you're working towards or what your plans or your ideas are, because there could be somebody here that you cannot trust. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you have some nice weather. It's gotten a little cold here again. And if you are not aware, I've been having some internet issues, which is why I'm pre-recording one. It kept cutting off the live stream. Thank you for all of you that have been patient or still liked my videos and followed me on to the part 2s. I am getting a new internet service provider, so I anticipate those issues not being around for too much longer. All right. So we also have the Bonnie and Clyde and Swept Up card. Ooh, along with the Playa. So it feels to me like this person who has a tendency to kind of be a hater of yours is someone who at one time felt like it was you and them versus the world. Now, this could be how people felt being, close as siblings. This could be obviously a romantic ex, but there's some really intense emotions, and I feel like they want to find some way to get under your skin. With the Playa card, this is somebody who doesn't really seem to have a lot of loyalty. I think they really just kind of think about themselves. All right, this is the Santa Muerte. What else do we have? High Priestess in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Emperor again. Definitely your energy. It feels to me like we've got somebody, this High Priestess in the reverse is the person who's sending you negative energy. This is somebody who is frustrated because they acknowledge that like other people are kind of admiring you or talking about you in a positive way. So it feels to me like they're trying to kind of subvert that, or if people say, oh, they're really successful, that's great. The High Priestess in the reverse might say, yeah, but they're like super like self-absorbed, or they're materialistic, or all they do is think about work. There's this attempt to try to make it like a bad thing or twist what's going on currently, make it seem like less of an accomplishment if it's something like a promotion. They don't really want everyone over here like celebrating what you've accomplished or pointing out how great you're doing. So we've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Chariot in the reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Part of the issue is this High Priestess in the reverse. This is somebody who's going through a failure. They don't have a sense of direction. They don't seem to be very ambitious. They want to make money, but they don't necessarily want to put in the work, right? You came through at the very outset with the Eight of Pentacles, Emperor, Knight of Wands. You put in the work, you take action, and that's why you get results. If somebody wants to just make money while they sit back and like eat popcorn and listen to Taylor Swift, like that's not really a good business model, my guy. Like whoever's jealous of you, they don't have like the goods. They're not actually like putting in the effort. Maybe they don't have the ideas, but I feel like this is more so about, do you have the dedication? Do you pursue something consistently, or do you give up easily? I feel like this is somebody who gives up easily and they're jealous because you don't. Devil in the reverse, Page of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So you want to know the real reason this person's mad? Oh, they're mad because like you're doing well and they're not doing very well. That's definitely a part of it, right? Like they're comparing themselves to you. But this is also somebody who is like, it's like they're mad that because you're no contact with them or they're not in your life anymore, they felt like you would be doing worse, right? You're unbothered, I guess. You're successful despite them being, you know, not in your life. And it makes them feel more alone, or it makes them feel like they are less awesome than you are in some way. I guess everything's a competition with this person. So we have the Fool and the Three of Cups in the reverse. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This is somebody who has been flaky, unreliable, and I do feel that when you chose to go a different direction, for many of you this is like a breakup. For others of you this could just be a falling out, or hey, I'm moving away, so like I'm not going to see you as often. This person felt like you discarded them, so there's a grudge or some resentment here, like you chose this life over what you could have had with me. If this was some like Lifetime movie, it would be like two high school sweethearts where somebody's really ambitious and they want to go to a particular school, but it's across the country. You know, like we grow up in New York City, but you want to go to Pepperdine. There's something here about like, I'm not going to sacrifice my goals. And that really got to this High Priestess in the reverse. So they didn't want those goals to go well because they felt like that was what you prioritized over being with them. But there is nothing wrong with prioritizing your goals. You're the one who finds that balance, right? So you may have felt this High Priestess in the reverse was actively working against what you wanted to achieve, or was trying to tell you that you shouldn't chase your dreams. Ten of Candles or the Ten of Wands in the reverse. The Four of Pumpkins or Four of Pentacles in the reverse. We just had that over here. And the Ace of Lightning or the Ace of Swords. They thought you would be burdened. They thought you would be bothered. They thought you would be stuck. They thought it would slow you down and you wouldn't be able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. But you cut your losses and it enabled you to move faster. Knight of Wands. Rapid movement forward. They hate that you did better after letting go of this connection. And either they remained stagnant or things got like a little bit more challenging for them. Nine of Potions or the Nine of Cups in the reverse. High Priestess in the reverse and the Knight of Potions or the Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm exasperated with this energy because their whole thing is, I don't want you to get what you want. I don't want your dreams to come true because you chose your dreams over me. So they're basically hearing some positive information about you. You know, you're doing well, things are going in the direction you wanted to, you graduated or you got that job, you made a really important connection, you closed a really big deal. There's something here that indicates you're doing just fine, if not even like better. And this is somebody who was hoping to hear that you were not doing well. What else do we have? So we've got the Six of Pumpkins or Six of Pentacles, the Two of Candles or the Two of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody who could be very successful in their own right. Again, the difference is execution of a plan. Do you have a plan and then do you follow through on it? This person is like unprepared. They would show up to an interview without having done research on the company. It's an important conversation that requires prep, right? But this person, nope, I'm good. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to think about what kinds of questions might come up. Nope, just gonna see where it goes, whatever. They're too like free-spirited in like a negative way, right? Like fly by the seat of my pants. I don't want to actually invest or like set time aside for the things that would make this a more successful experience. You, on the other hand, you're receiving some blessing or some advancement. Things are upgrading for you with the Ten of Pumpkins or Ten of Pentacles. This is money. Money. But it could also be a family member who's a little bit jealous. Because with the Hermit, you've decided to go off on your own and you have this wisdom that people are admiring. So we have the Sun and Suspension in the reverse. Suspension would be the Hanged Man, and it's in the reverse. So there's somebody here who basically, because they don't like believe in you, because they aren't necessarily supportive, or they're not coming through as somebody who is like a follower or a fan of yours. There are people that look at your ex or this family member of yours as kind of having, I think the expression is sour grapes. They're just jealous, so they don't want to be like excited for what's going on for you, even though this is an accomplishment, right? This is the Pulp Tarot. Two of Wands in the reverse, the Lovers, Knight of Wands. Again with the Two of Wands in the reverse. We have somebody who doesn't take action, doesn't make plans, and you who does. You do take action. You make things happen. So don't let this person say this is just because you got lucky, you were in the right place at the right time. No, you do stuff and they don't do stuff. It's like a big difference, man. Knight of Swords in the reverse, Chariot, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. They're just going to try to say that, like, I don't know, you just happen to have somebody make things easy for you, or you got a job because of who your dad is, or they're going to try to diminish this, right? It's not because you have all of this skill or because you've dedicated time. It just fell into your lap, right? Don't let their words get to you, because I think you'll know quite clearly this is just somebody who's jealous. Page of Cups in the reverse. 9 of Cups. And the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. Queen of Pentacles. You're getting what you want. You're getting what you deserve because you put the work in. They have not. It's making them upset. They're jealous. But it's because you were decisive about it. I'm getting for some of you, this is 2 people who started to work out together and had, you know, somewhat similar goals. And one person's doing really well and the other person's like mad. Like, why am I not having the same success as far as fitness? But for the majority of you, this feels like it's based on what kind of effort are you making regarding things that make you money or achievements, right? Could be education. 6 of Swords in the reverse and Justice in the reverse. But we've got somebody who's a little bit pouty, a little bit whiny. They feel like they have not had the same opportunities as you. Again, they're trying to make things like situational or about circumstance. You didn't achieve what you achieved because of who you are, and they didn't fail because of who they are. But I think they're wrong. I think, again, it's because you put in the effort, right? This is the Situations deck. What else do we have? History, Drastic in the reverse, and Entrapment in the reverse. There's something that happened a long time ago between you and this individual who is your hater. This is somebody who feels like you just like pulled back from them. So this resentment is due to whether or not you're close, whether or not they feel like you've been there for them. But again, it feels a little uneven, like they have higher standards for how you should treat them than the standards that they held themselves accountable to in terms of treating you. So it really just looks like envy. It really just looks like we've got somebody who's competitive without really like being as dedicated as you. So they're a little bit upset about you doing well. We have Obsession in the reverse. Now it's making me feel like it's similar to that dynamic between Gina Davis's character in A League of Their Own and her younger sister, where she basically wasn't super enthusiastic about being a part of the baseball team, but her little sister was only allowed to get into the league if Dottie or Gina Davis actually did. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm obsessed. I want to do this. I want to be like famous. But the difference being, I think Kit did really put in a lot of effort. She wanted to be good. She was good. This is somebody who feels like, I want this so bad, and yet you get to have it. So there was a conversation, or there's going to be a conversation that causes a really big split, and it's based on this jealousy. I do feel like it's kind of a repeating conversation. You may have had this happen in the past. They blew up at you over something unreasonable, and they may do that again now, but it's all based on like some sort of competition, or I can't believe you chose that over me, or that you've been able to achieve that and I haven't been able to achieve that. This is the Voyage of the Soul. Compassion. Empathy, forgiveness, holding space, and listen. Extraterrestrial, galactic, star races, light codes, ancient, and origins. And purpose, mission, quest, soul's calling, aspiration, goal, and drive. You have drive. This other person does not. At least they haven't really demonstrated it. And you're listening to your intuition. There's something that's very different about your intentions or, you know, how you view things. That's why. Okay, here's the thing. You really are lucky. This person says that you're lucky and luck is the only reason you get what you get. But that's not true. You did a whole bunch of work. You did everything you could. You were dedicated, or you leveled up because you were willing to do the homework. You were willing to, take the classes, watch the YouTube videos. You got better at something. But there's also the universe kind of putting a little bit of a thumb on the scale for you. I'm just going to say it. They're a little bit right, but still wrong because you did put an effort that they did not. It's the universe blessing you because you've done what you should do and because you are motivated to do something that feels like your calling. So we have alive, excitement, boldness, vigor, dynamic, zest, and movement. This is that Nine of Wands energy. Something moves very quickly in a positive direction. You go viral, you get the job you've always wanted. Your role model asks to play a show with you. Whatever it is, it's a big deal, okay? And it's because you've been doing right by yourself. We've got the self card. You've been able to disconnect from things that really just kind of leave you feeling exhausted or depleted. You want to spend your time improving things, working on things, and having that positive energy. So I do feel like with the sword card, there's a lot of wisdom here in terms of your growing and learning from previous encounters or experiences with people and not wanting to be wasteful with your energy. This is The Truth Is. What else do we have? So I do think that we've got somebody who may have, if this was a romantic connection for you, like if this is an ex, I do feel like there's a chance this person cheated on you, and part could be like tied to insecurity or jealousy. I feel less than because you're more successful than me, or because you're prioritizing something else. So I'm going to like get you back, or I'm going to feel better about myself by, indulging in terms of someone I'm attracted to. But this person from your past is not able to commit to you. For those of you where this is a platonic connection, such as like a sibling, for example, this is somebody who is all over the place with their energy. It doesn't have to be sexual, right? This is somebody who could not devote their time or prioritize this goal. Maybe they had 17 goals, and that's why they didn't make much progress with regards to one thing. If you're trying to work on your fitness, but you don't have a strategic plan, if it's, you're addressing one thing that you're already good in and not addressing something that you need to work on, you're wasting time. So this is somebody who didn't commit time, didn't dedicate the hours that you did. And for those of you where it's romantic, didn't really commit to you. All right, this is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? We have the Sun and the Bouquet. People are noticing your glow up. People in the community, people in your workplace, people who are friends with your ex, whatever it is, They're noticing that you are making progress, that things are going well for you. You are looking like you're in a really good spot, right? There could be more people interested in dating you. And I feel like there's somebody in particular that could be trying to find time alone with you. And that could set this person off even more if they themselves are interested in that person, or if this is an ex who's not over you yet. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you again for being patient with me regarding the internet issues. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I'll see you in the next reading. Toodles.